since I'm in the mood to make another review, Flow okay, I'm gonna try to close up. How do you say that? Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. I still can't. Please, if someone knows how to say the name, I don't want to look it up. I want someone to say, "You idiot." This is the way that you say his name. Still, this is a wonderful nonfiction book, and actually something that I'm recommending to pretty much anyone who wants to read something nonfiction. It is Flow, the Psychology of Optimal Experience, and it is honestly phenomenal. There's a ton of information here. This is not a self-help book. This is not a get-well book. This is not a how-to book. This is just speaking about optimal experience and what it means from different points of view. Because it is an invitation to find your own definition of flow and happiness and how you can lead a life where success is defined by happiness and being content and being engaged and being in love with what you do. That means that some people who make millions of dollars aren't a success, while goat herders in the middle of nowhere in Eastern Europe are successful because they're happy, because they're engaged. A feeling of being jaded is actually very common nowadays, and it's a very worrying epidemic, and it's something that I felt for a long time. My former job, it wasn't a bad job. It wasn't a horrendous job. I just really didn't like it, and I felt like a bad fit, and I felt like a bad fit for a long time. It's not that the people were bad or evil or anything. It's just that, man, it didn't flow. And I resorted to different things to try to achieve a state of flow. For me, getting bored is a rare occurrence, if ever. I always have something on the plate. I always have something on the go. I do know when to rest, but that doesn't mean I stop. It just means that the activity that I have at that particular moment is different from whatever. So, flow is defined as that perfect point of focus and stress, not having too much pressure where you can't perform, or you perform and you're not enjoying it, but not being so lax that you can just coast. It's being engaged, and I think this is a very good book in terms of giving you information and perspectives of how to engage with life, or how different people from different places engage. How success is defined, flow activities, and that's why we can decipher the things that we enjoy. I enjoy surfing and playing guitar, and those are flow activities when I do them because I am completely engaged in that and I'm lost in the moment. And the same with writing, the same with reading. Some people ask me how I can write so much and so many things, and part of it is because writing is a flow activity for me. It is when I'm even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes, I can focus on that. And why do I have so many projects? Because I can focus 5 or 10 minutes on one, 5 or 10 minutes on the other, 5 or 10 minutes on the other. Then I have work to do, but something that would take me 3 hours, I do it in an hour, and so on and so forth. So basically, how I perceive flow is switching activities to try to get the most momentum and do it with the most enthusiasm as possible. Because we've all had to push through things that we don't want to do. That's how reading slumps happen. You're not connecting, you're not flowing with that book. That's why writer's blocks happen, because you're not flowing, you're not connecting with that. That's why I have different things and different outlets, because I shift from one to the other, looking for that flow. And once you achieve flow, you're hungry for it. And I've known to be reading 14 books simultaneously, watching a couple of series at the same time, writing several projects. Right now, I'm working on several projects. I just recently finished a manuscript for my young adult novel. I finished 2 poetry collections. I'm also working on a sci-fi novella, and I have 2 short stories pending. By the way, I will be talking about this a little more in another video, because I will be participating in Camp NaNoWriMo. But more on that later. But I'm also doing world building, and there's a huge project that I'm working on, and that's a map of things and concepts that I'm thinking of. You know, how do I relax? By doing other things. I don't relax by being idle or not doing anything. I'm looking for flow, and this book constantly and repeatedly showed me different ways to look at experience as a game, as a challenge. When I eat, I try to engage with the food that I'm eating, and I sometimes I have to stop myself so that I don't eat too fast and I can enjoy the experience. Things that I taste and then I'm analyzing, and I taste and I'm analyzing, and I taste and I'm analyzing, and suddenly the plate is gone and I'm like, crap. But I am engaging as much as I can, and the same with conversation. I love talking with people. I know that I do a lot of videos and these are technically monologues, but I do love engaging with people in different ways, because some people have their set stories or set things that they want to do, and to me a conversation is connecting with someone else in a specific place, in a specific time, with a specific topic. And you have to see, you know, I don't like to hog the conversation. I talk a lot, but I like to hear a lot as well, and I like there to be dialogue. I love dialogue. And the mental chatter in my brain is something crazy. But again, optimal experience will not be defined homogeneously. Each person will have their own definition, and our job in this life is to look for that definition and run with it. If it shifts and it changes or it evolves, that's fine. And I'm always trying to engage with the definition of how I flow and what success means for me. That's why I do different things. That's why I do Twitter. That's why I do Instagram. That's why I do Facebook. That's why I do Google+. That's why I do the blog. That's why I write. That's why I write poetry. That's why I'm doing a piss poor attempt at drawing and world building, and just doing different things to challenge myself and have an optimal experience in life. How you define it, or what is your passion, that's up to you to define. What are the steps to get there? That's up to you to define. And some people love 12-step programs, but they're terrified of developing their own 12 steps. And I think that's a bit crazy, because seeing education systems, not everything, or medications. Two people have headaches. One person needs Tylenol, the other one needs Advil, and another person needs a cup of tea. We're so drastically different, and we engage with life in such drastically different ways, and subjective ways, and particular ways. Yes, we might share, certain things, but it is a subjective reality. That not pursuing happiness in a subjective way is kind of weird. Saying, oh, that's what makes you happy, then I'm going to do that. You do it, and you're not happy, and you go like, oh, your method does not work. Yeah, because it's my method. It's not your method. So yeah, kick-ass book. It even talks about flow activities that could range from eating, meditation, rock climbing, surfing, playing sports, having sex, writing, researching, or even thinking. Some people, thinking is a flow activity because they're so immersed in thought and so lost in it and enjoying just the machinations of their brain. And that's completely fine if it makes them happy and it doesn't harm anyone. So give it 5 out of 5. Have a full review on Goodreads, I'll link below. And by all means, peace, love, maki rolls, and flow.